Durk just got indicted again on 2 more felonies, man. The feds have been doing a lot of work picking up a lot of people from oblock. They swept and raided the whole entire Chicago and oblock, and a lot of dudes was telling on Durk. They just straight up gave it and spilled all the beans because the feds gave him an ultimatum. They said, you either gonna tell on Lil Durk and the whole OTF, or y'all gonna get charged with everything that whole group had something to do with. So a lot of these dudes, they didn't want to get charged with none of that. They didn't want to do the time. They didn't care about the loyalty. They didn't care about the street code. So they ended up doing what was best for their own self. Everybody's gonna think about their own self at the end of the day. Everybody got ulterior motives. So the dudes that did the stuff that was the street cats, that basically was the pawn pieces of this whole chess game, they're the ones who got picked up by the feds, and they had to pretty much point out everybody who was the order of operation, all the way from Lil Durk all the way down to the hitters and everything like that. So now that's how Durk got picked up on 2 more felonies while he already in custody. So they put him in the detention center, and they knocked on his cell like early in the morning and said, yup, we just hit you with 2 more felonies. Now he pretty much not going to be able to get out unless something crazy happened, because at the end of the day, they got all the evidence stacked up against him. The feds don't move. The feds don't even play around or try to come and get you unless they got a 98% chance that they're going to win. And it's like, at the end of the day, they already got everything, Durk's information. They wiretapped him and had his best friend with a voice recorder on him everywhere they went. And they're going to use the lyrics against him. This is why OTF Jam was standing right next to Durk in a lot of those diss tracks, a lot of those music videos. And he picked up a lot of the lingo, the stuff they were saying behind the scenes about who really did this, and we took out these people, and they were claiming hits. And OTF Jam caught it all on the wire tape. They have recording conversations of Lil Durk, like basically implementing him in a lot of these cases that's going on, cold cases. The reason why a lot of these cases went cold is because they didn't have a dude with a wire next to Durk. Now that they got a dude with a wire next to Durk, they opening the cases back up because these dudes kept talking about all the bad things that they did to people, and now the karma is coming back to get them, man. At the end of the day, if y'all believe in karma, go ahead and let me know in the comments section. Does Lil Durk have a lot of bad karma built up from all of the people that have fallen from beefs with OTF, beefs with Lil Durk? Because everybody knows at this point that it was a whole war going on in O-Block, 63rd, 64th. It was a lot of people who on both sides got hit up for very petty reasons to begin with. A lot of the first time somebody got hit up, it was all over like a fight, a girl, or something petty, right? But then once one person got dropped, it upped the whole level of the beef to where it's not just them bickering and backering over something that happened at school and nothing like that. Because you got to remember, a lot of the dudes from OTF, a lot of the dudes from O-Block, the whole rivalry started from basically them getting into little altercations coming back home from school or at the school bus, or somebody jumped somebody at school, and the next thing you know, a lot of people pick sides. And once everybody picked sides, it became 2 whole factions, 2 whole groups in the same block, basically in Chicago. And then next thing you know, they hit up the dude from O-Block that named him O-Block. Oh, exactly. And so now that ever since that happened, it was retaliation, sneak dissing on both sides. Everybody dissing each other, everybody hating on each other, and it never stopped. And so a lot of these dudes now, they have to face the consequences of all the actions that they did for the last few 10 years, 15 years. And now they looking back at it like, oh, they can't, there's no way that they're going to be able to dig themselves out of the hole of all these different people who got hit up, all the hitmen who told, all the people who's locked up in the OTF RICO right now. And the feds, they having their way with it. Because Lil Durk, he over there biting his nails. He's worried about all the people that know what he did, that he's like, man, if OTF Jam wore a wire, Who else was cooperating with the feds? Like, because there was a lot of people around Durk that ended up getting locked up because Durk himself kept getting locked up. So even they brought back the case with King Von and that whole thing that happened in Atlanta, the whole Atlanta thing. And now they pinning it on one dude, and that's getting thrown in the mix of this whole entire thing. And so this is what's keeping Lil Durk locked up right now. They're not giving him no bond, no bail, nothing like that, because this is the feds. They're not going to let anybody get away easy. They're not going to let nobody get out that got money so they can try to be they gonna be a flight risk, because everybody knows people with money and everything, especially the rappers, they're going to always, as soon as they get released or something and they got to go back to court, they never go back. They always try to catch a flight and dip out, go overseas, and they have to get extradited. They try to get out of the jurisdiction. And so now, with all the karma against Lil Durk, it's like he can't run away from nothing. He tried to go to Dubai, tried to book all these tickets to all these places, and it's like he knew the feds was coming to get him. Somebody told him and like literally put the message to his ear and said, "Hey, Durk, the feds about to come and get you. I just seen black Suburbans like tint dark and they just pulled all up on oblock. Once they raided oblock, they called Durk and told him, get out of town, get out of Dodge, because the feds just hit oblock. They came right to Durk's people's crib looking for the footage, looking for the text messages, the iCloud, everything. They got it all. And so once they told Durk, I don't know how they knew the phone text conversations, because the feds was like, oh, you didn't get this much from Durk to go do this drill. And that's when everybody got shook, because the feds started saying the exact words that Durk was texting in these people, and the things that they were saying to each other back and forth in DMs and everything. So the whole O-Block, the people of O-Block that got took down, they knew, the feds knew everything. They like, man, these feds, these people, the 12s, they saying the same thing that Durk sent me in the DM. They saying the same thing from the phone calls. How do they know what we said word for word? It's because they wiretapped everybody that was connected to Durk. They had OTF Jam wearing the microphone underneath his shirt. He had a white shirt on, and you could see the little bump from the microphone. And if anybody knows anything about like people who wear a wire, they always tape the microphone with a wire underneath the shirt, and it's always on their chest. And so when you go back and look at all the videos of OTF Jam and the Instagram lives, and pretty much anytime he's with Durk and it's caught on footage, you could see the little crease, the little bump from the microphone that's taped on his chest, because the whole time the feds paid him to wear a wire to get him a reduced sentence, to have him cooperate so that they can pretty much put up a reward. And it don't help the fact that Durk being sued by the whole other side. He's being sued by the whole 63rd, Mama Duck and all them. And so the feds looked at that and they're like, man, once he's going to try to get out of that. And like I said, once they try to get you in one place and you get out of that jam, the feds are going to come right back. So if Durk beat the state case, or he beats the allegations from the lawsuit, then the feds gonna turn around and indict him with a RICO. So now Durk could get hit with the lawsuit allegations. He could be guilty on that, and then at the same time he could be guilty allegedly for all the stuff that the feds just locked him up for right now. Because the feds, they don't miss. They only pull up and get people if they know for a fact that they got all the cards stacked against them. They had the whole deck stacked against Durk. And this is why they took him down. It's a shakedown. They swept everybody from OTF, and it's about to be a RICO. Let me know what y'all think about this whole thing, and make sure y'all subscribe to the channel.